birthday party, and
we pull up. We walk through the front door because it's a big mansion, and there's a psychic medium on the steps giving a tour.
Yeah, with a bunch of people, and she looks around. She looks at us.
She looks around. She double takes, and she goes, "I don't know who you guys are, but when y'all walked in, all the spirits left."
we're like, where the party at?
We're just looking for the party. She's like,
And welcome back to the Oklahoma Today podcast. I'm your host, Ben Lucian, and I'm so excited for our guest today, or should I say guest, bringing on none other than hip-hop and entertainment duo Lil Mike and Funny Bone. Woo! You know them from the song Rain Dance and from the hit show Reservation Dogs that they have a role in. We're so excited to bring them into the studio for an interview today. And we'll hear from them soon, but first, a word from our sponsor. The Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition is a nonprofit that helps develop the Oklahoma visual arts community through education, promotion, connection, and funding. Since 1988, OVAC has worked closely with Oklahoma artists, educators, organizers, and communities to ensure visibility and opportunity while promoting public interest in the arts across the state. To learn more about how OVAC supports artists and personally contribute to a growing arts community in Oklahoma, visit ovac-ok.org. Now let's hear from the rest of our editors. How are we doing today?
Excellent.
good.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited to bring in Lil Mike and Funny Bone. They're coming in later, so that's going to be an awesome time. But that got us thinking about other Oklahoma celebrities. Our question of the week is, who is the Oklahoma celebrity that you would like to meet? Editor-in-Chief Nathan Gunner, do you have an answer?
Well, you know who I think is amazing is that Jennifer Reynolds.
Ah, yes. I did get to meet her.
She is amazing. We already know Jennifer, and we love
Yes.
Jennifer. But I had a couple. Kristen Chenoweth. Love Kristen Chenoweth. If I could find, she's very tiny, so if I could find her, I would love to meet her.
Yes.
Does anybody remember Linda Soundtrack?
Yeah.
Linda
yes,
Soundtrack,
yes.
way up there. Carly met the kid from the Del Rancho commercial.
I didn't actually meet him.
You interviewed him.
I interviewed him.
Yeah.
Yes, but it took me a while to track him down. He
Major
doesn't-
jealousy factor.
Yeah, he doesn't live in Oklahoma anymore. He lives in Colorado now.
Well,
but
he's still an Oklahoma
He's
legend.
not doing any commercials for Colorado sandwich places.
Just
so.
saying.
We
Just
got
saying.
the one and only kids.
But Linda Soundtrack was who I thought of when you sent the question around. Yeah.
All right.
If you children of the 80s, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Google exists.
I like it. Yeah.
Kirsten, what is your local celebrity? Research editor Kirsten Stone.
Well, I didn't go with any musicians because if I start that list, it's going to never end. So we're just going to not do that. But the icon of David Tornado Payne.
Good one.
Yes.
David
Yeah.
Payne.
Good one.
My dad is glued to David Payne during severe weather.
Nice.
I love David.
My grandma taught him in 3rd grade. And
Really?
she reminds me every single time we see him on TV.
I like the thought of I don't want this to happen, but I just had this image of your grandma being pulled away by a tornado and they're like, I got him in there.
It starts raining outside and he's just glued to the window. Well, Carly, what is your local celebrity? It's not David Payne, I guess.
No, it's not David Payne. I have 2 answers to this. The first one is Lane Factor, who plays Cheese on
yes.
Reservation Dogs, who actually lives in Oklahoma City.
I almost got in a car accident with him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So he is somebody I legitimately could meet. But the other local celebrity I'm kind of fascinated by is Johnny Ross. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but he's the guy that does the furniture commercials and he swings his arm around a lot. This guy is such a weirdo. He doesn't even own a furniture store anymore. He just does commercials for other furniture stores, and he is absolutely fascinating.
Yes.
He has horses. His wife is a really good barrel racer.
Wow.
Just very interesting
That's
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and I love that all the stories about him are he's just annoying enough to make you stop and pay attention.
Well, I know somebody who's not going to be sponsoring the podcast now.
Hey, that's a big fundamental rule of sales.
No, but actually what you said made me think of because I have a lot of questions for that one Battison Honda couple.
Oh, yes.
Right? Where did that come from?
The very tan lady and
the very tan husband.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a lot of questions for the two of them. So that's,
So photo editor Megan Rossman, when it comes to local celebrities, who would you like to meet?
I would like to meet Chris Gaines.
Not Garth Brooks.
Not Garth Brooks.
thanks for making the
I want to
distinction.
meet Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
He's interesting.
We would all like to meet Chris Gaines.
We all have a lot of questions.
People have been wanting to meet Chris Gaines for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you think he still has the emo haircut? Is that
I
still-
hope so.
Yeah.
He looks like
great now.
Zoolander.
I see it.
Yeah, no, that's
I
good.
do. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know what he's about.
I mean, Megan, I think that you are a local celebrity.
Oh.
You are
yes.
to me.
Okay. Well.
Not to me.
Yeah. Well. No one can live up to Carly's expectations.
That's true.
We're all trying to pursue it.
Who do you want to meet?
Well, for my answer, this is all time, and I'm gonna have to say DJ Wexler from the OETA Movie Club. R.I.P.
yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
answer.
But my mom really wanted me to be the new BJ Wexler, and like she had an obsession with me like taking that job, and that didn't happen. I wasn't interested in television at the time, but now here
This
I
is
am
close.
doing this. Yeah,
Yeah.
close enough. And now that I'm on this, my mom doesn't watch. So.
Did somebody replace DJ? Or is it just not happening?
Yeah, someone there's a new guy.
Oh,
is there?
Yes.
Okay.
The movie club goes on.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Good.
I'm
That's
glad
good
that
to
it's
know.
still happening.
And then one that we did last year, we actually did get to meet them. We got to meet Mr. OU and Warren the Cowboy.
That was a fun day.
That was really
That was
fun.
a really fun day at
the
Butcher
photo
Barbecue.
shoot at Bedlam Barbecue.
Or Bedlam Barbecue, that's right, yeah. Bedlam
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Really fun to get both of them in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
What about behind the
I
scenes
feel like
here?
behind the scenes are two people who already know
Yeah.
a ton of Oklahoma celebrities.
Yeah.
Bridget, I genuinely would classify as an Oklahoma celebrity. Genuinely.
I don't have anybody that I really want to meet. I've met all the people I wanted to meet. Like
Yeah.
Dino, I've met Dino. He's
yeah.
a local celebrity.
Having Dino, he's not here anymore, but having Dino work here was the funnest.
And he was
'cause-
the
yeah,
best.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah, we love Dino Lolly.
Garth Brooks. I
Yeah.
want to meet Chris Gaines.
But
I've
you
met
well, but like
Chris Gaines.
you've hung around with Hinder.
Yeah.
Like that was cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Bridget's pretty glamorous.
It's not as glamorous as you'd think, but
Hey man, you're the only person in this room who has sung on the Diamond. You've sung at Diamond Ballroom, right? You
Diamond
guys
and
performed
Canes.
See, there, Diamond and Canes. It's a local celebrity.
I
She's
was
a local
sung in the
celebrity.
Diamond Ballroom, but it was on the other side of the stage.
Fair, yeah, fair.
yeah, we played with Papa Roach at Canes.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool.
She's a local celebrity, folks. She's a star. That's awesome.
But yeah, so I don't have an answer.
Oh, and I should. We don't have time for it right now, but she's got a Tiger King story that would blow your mind.
Oh yeah. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I have met the Tiger King, not willingly.
I've determined that we do not have time for that
Yeah.
one.
It's not even.
So,
It's not even
Chris-
inappropriate. It's just long. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should say that.
Yeah.
Chris, what is your
Well,
story?
Wayman Tisdale. R.I.P.
Oh, yeah.
I got to spend the day with Wayman. Coolest thing ever. Just a cool guy.
That's
And then
cool.
full circle, when they first opened the restaurant at the Gathering Place,
Yeah.
his daughter was the head chef there. Now I don't know if she still is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm old, so I'd love to meet Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band.
Oh, he's performing at Windstar coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have a wonderful Ed Harris story, but it's long, and so I'll tell you off camera. So.
Yeah, I want to hear that though.
Well, now thank you for those answers, but this is the moment we've all really been waiting for. Little Mike and Funny Bone, let's bring him in.
We are here today with definitely the podcast guest I am most excited in the history of the Oklahoma State podcast, Little Mike and Funny Bone. Thank you guys so much for also known as MikeBone.
Yeah.
So you guys are performers. How long have you been in the game?
This year is 28.
I think 28. Yeah.
28 years now.
Since 1997.
Wow, that is wild.
He does.
So, it's very rare to have two siblings working so closely together on a project for nearly 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
So have you guys always been close?
Closer than the other family members, yeah. I think it's due to the same height and look. And also the same thought process.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just similar on different things. So that, like you said, the image, I feel like that was a gift from God because every other family member is not as tall as us. They don't look like us. So,
Giants.
It was like we were made for something.
That's amazing. So I know that like in your creative process, do you guys ever like have any kind of like creative differences that you have to work out, or are there ever any kind of sibling rivalries or?
I think we actually help each other out with our creative differences. You know, him not having the same exact
Approach.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll help him out. He'll help me out. It balances really well.
So how do you both approach the creative process? Do you have like a ritual that you do or anything?
So, I mean, we just kind of break off and write for ourselves, and then he'll be like, "All right, check me out," and then I'll
Came up
listen.
with this last night.
Yeah.
And he'll go, oh.
He'll bust it, and I'll just be like, "I like this part. I don't know about this part. You might change the way you say that right there, or cut out that word and then say this word." And he'll be like, "Oh yeah," and then I'll do mine, and he'll do the same thing. Like,
Yeah. And we'll each have our days where we're like just everything we say rhymes. We're like, dang, Dr. Seuss.
yeah.
So typically, how long does it take you guys to write like a single song?
We can do it as quick as a day.
Yeah, we can't do it as quick as a day, but
Taken the longest we've ever taken was, gosh, I want to say at least a year.
Wow.
But it would be like a serious song.
yeah. So, I would say that Love Amazing took 5 years.
Because
5 years.
we were
Yeah,
waiting
so-
on the right singer. Because we have a
So what
singer
we
voice
had
on
was
it.
a hook, but we had a beat. We just didn't have a singer, and so we were like, you know what? I wrote a couple lines here and there, but I didn't finish it out. And then
It's got more of a pop feel to it. It's
Yeah.
not straight hip hop. It's called Love Amazing, and all our music is streaming everywhere: Apple, Spotify, everything. So
Excellent. Well, one of your most beloved songs, without a doubt, is Rain Dance. And I watched the America's Got Talent audition over and over again because your performance was so amazing.
we try.
And so you guys kind of sailed past the San Antonio portion. You got to Vegas, but then Vegas didn't go quite as well.
Right.
So how did you guys deal with that, just like high of being accepted and then the kind of low of the rejection afterwards?
We went in knowing we didn't want to go through.
yeah, so
Okay.
Wow.
when
really?
we went on America's Got Talent, they gave us a
Contract.
contract that was like this thick to read and sign. I don't think they knew that as Native Americans, we should read this paper instead of just going, "Oh, I'm gonna be on TV."
Yes.
And so we read it as far as we could, and we were like,
Entertainment lawyer.
"We need somebody
Break
to
this
read
down.
this."
So
And
she
they
broke
was
it down
like,
for us.
they were like, "This is kind of shady," and they were like, "Okay, we found a loophole. If you get in, get out, you won't be locked under their contract for like 10 years." And then we were like, "All right, we could do that." So America's Got Talent, we do the rain dance. We didn't think they was gonna put us all the way through. We just thought, let's just show out, and then everybody be like, "That was good, but it wasn't $1 million." And then they sent us through. We go to Vegas, and they're sending people straight through. Like, we're like, "Oh crap!"
We
We're
started
like,
praying. Literally.
that's the only time we was
started praying,
nervous was when they were sending people straight through, and we were like, "Oh my God!"
So we did everything we could because they had these rules with all the talent locked in a room and stuff. You couldn't leave the room, just all day filming different things.
Yeah, so
And we kept doing stuff like sneaking out. So hey, we got under their skin.
or like they would be like, "We're gonna film you doing this and doing that," and we're like, "We don't do that." And they go, "Well, what do you do?" And we're like,
We sell CD.
"We can't film you doing that in Vegas." And we're like, "All right."
We're like, well, that's what we do. Like,
Yeah, so they couldn't hold the kids long enough because, labor laws. And so we were like, "Hey, they had gray bracelets. We had orange bracelets."
And we seen
we
the
flipped
kids
our bracelet
moving.
over and it's white, similar to gray, but not as much. And I was like, if we flip these bracelets upside down, we could just walk out with these kids.
Nice.
We snuck out.
We snuck
Me and
out,
Short, so-
and they kept giving us per diem, but never letting us go to use the per diem. And so I was like, man, I got 3 days of per diem.
And they only gave the talent in the room
I was like, there's a
the
place
worst
in there.
food. Like these cold sandwiches, ham sandwiches.
Hard cookies like a rock. They gave us the per diem. We went to this place called Ocean One that had $10 burgers. We spent all the money on burgers and brought it back, and we was like, we got cheeseburgers.
So we sold the cheeseburgers back to all the talent in the
That's
room.
awesome, and I'm sure they appreciated it
Oh,
too.
yeah.
They was loving it.
Somebody in the mid-meal was like, I'll take one of those.
That's amazing. So it was a business decision.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Wow.
That's what
That's
we were
incredible.
telling them. We
Came
sell
back with
stuff.
smoothies and a bunch of cheeseburgers.
That's awesome. Wow.
It was an experience. But
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you kind of got the best of both worlds. You got some of the promotion, but then you were locked into this like super unfair contract.
Right, yeah.
Mhm. Excellent. Well,
I'm sorry, that's a baller move. That's just baller. That's just baller.
appreciate that, yeah.
That's so cool.
yeah.
That's so cool.
So, I just love like your positivity and everything. And one of your mottos is love God and party, which I think is so fun.
So cool.
But I know that you guys, you don't drink, you don't smoke. So what to you is partying?
Enjoying life.
Music,
At the
people.
Yeah. At the time when we wrote that motto, we were going to certain like church hopping, and we had noticed that a lot of people, when they would praise God, they would just kind of sit there and be like, I got the joy in my heart. And we were like, yo, this is crazy. This is like zombie movie. And so we were like, man, I don't care
What church we at?
what church we at,
Yeah,
we
we
gonna
standing up.
just dance, we gonna rock. It, you know what I'm saying? We finna freak them out, like how much we wanna just have that joy. And
Express it.
and so
Show
then
it.
we were like, you know what, let's open up some nightclubs. And so we ran a couple of Christian nightclubs. And
Wow.
our thing was, don't be shy about how you dance, just dance. Cause it was
Have
like,
fun.
we had Christian nightclubs before, and they were under the church, and the church was very strict on how people should dance or whatever, or what music to play. And so me, I'm a hunter, and I hunted some music that most churches wouldn't like, and I was like, oh, this is dope. And so I had like Twerk for Jesus songs. I had death metal. I had the stuff that nobody was looking for, and I was just like, oh, this is great. Remixes nobody else like. They was like, where'd you find this remix?
Like a goodies
It's
remix.
a Christian remix. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I hunt for music and I found it.
That's incredible.
And so like that was our motto, was love God and party, and it just enjoy life. Love God was to be like, be a good person. To love God is to obey his commandments, but as for us, we're just like, everybody has their own religion, just, do well with your religion, be true to your religion, but make sure you have fun with your own life. Don't, what was it? Jesus came to his disciples, right? And said, follow me, let's go, let's do this. But he didn't come to them just because they were all looked the same. Or they all had different characteristics and lived different types of lives. So he didn't say, change who you are. He said, just come with me.
Come as
let's
you
go.
are. Let's do this.
And so I felt like for us, we were like, yo, everybody's different. Let's just ride together. Let's have fun. Instead of like bickering about, you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't dress like this, or you shouldn't wear that. And so,
It's like, let God deal with that.
Yeah. I love that. I love it because you were talking about, kind of how some churches are like. I love my grandparents. I love you so much. They're gone now, but their church was like that, right? It was like
Yeah.
bringing in the sheaves. Like it was so. I would have loved for someone to have gotten up and started dancing
Right.
like y'all. It would have just made it.
The faces we saw when we get up at church and start rocking and dancing.
That's
I
awesome.
like,
remember
"That's
this one
not
church.
normal."
This one church was full of old people, and we were just like, and matter of fact, we was wondering why they had the drummer almost like a
A bulletproof case.
yeah. And then I was like, man, he's struggling in there. He wants to just show out because you can see the way he was bouncing, and then like all the other singles was just like and everybody else was just standing still like they just woke up. And I go, man, I can't help myself. I'm gonna do it. He goes, you gonna do what? I started screaming the songs like if it was death metal. And I was like, I don't know.
How did the old people react?
Oh man,
They actually came up after.
they kept looking at us like, oh man, this is messed up. But then afterwards they go, y'all was a blessing to have in our church.
Oh, that's nice.
It changed the energy so much. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that's what I was doing, was changing the energy. I was just trying to enjoy the song. Y'all didn't look like y'all was enjoying the song.
Yeah, that's what I said. They came up after, and they was really appreciative of that.
That's cool.
That's another thing I feel about our energy is different. I don't know if it's how close we are with God, but we've been noticed to chase spirits away.
Wow.
Like we went to look for a house party, and it was at a haunted mansion.
We didn't know it was haunted.
And
We just booked to go to a birthday party and
we pull up, we walk through the front door because it's a big mansion, and there's a psychic medium on the steps giving a tour.
yeah, with a bunch of people and she looks around, she looks at us.
She looks around, she double takes, and she goes, I don't know who you guys are, but when y'all walked in, all the spirits left.
We were like, where the party at?
We're just looking for the party. She was like, oh, it's in the pool area.
And we were like, oh, damn.
Sorry, we messed up the tour.
We went to a pool party fully dressed.
But what an amazing thing, being able to spread joy not only to the living, but to
Right.
the dead. Whenever
For
y'all
real.
go places.
Everybody.
That's real.
It's different.
So in addition to being wonderful musicians, rappers, you guys are also actors, and most famously in Reservation Dogs, which is just such a great show. So how did you guys end up playing Mose and Miko?
I heard another actor say this on TV. He said, I didn't choose acting. Acting chose me. And I would say that about us, because
Yeah.
due to the COVID-19, our tour shut down. We were broke, looking for hope.
Which is why y'all see so much merch on our website.
Yeah, because we got the design and
I was like, maybe they'll buy this. Okay, maybe they'll buy this. Okay, maybe they'll buy this. And,
yeah, we have stuff he didn't even remember designing.
oh yeah, a fan bought some curtains, and I go, we got curtains. I don't even remember adding curtains to merch.
But the opportunity for acting, Res Dogs, before Disney picked it up, arose. And we're like, hey, let's get in. There's a role for two twin 11-year-olds. We're like, hey, I guess we fit the part, kind of.
So yeah, we basically kind of did it, knowing to ourselves we wouldn't get the job, but we wanted to do it as practice because we were auditioning for commercials and other film, and Reservation Dogs called us back, the one that we didn't think we was gonna get, and we were like, they were like, you're exactly what we're looking for. We're like, yeah, 11-year-old twins.
I gotta say though, like that first episode when y'all came on, like when I saw you on the screen, I screamed. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm down with this show. Like,
Yeah,
I was
right.
already down with it, but I was super down.
It's
with
hard
it
to
after
tell that to people who ain't from Oklahoma because the ones that don't know us or know our past or whatever, they're just like, I don't know. I like these dudes, but I don't know who they are. But then, like, for other Okies watching it, they're like, oh my God, it's the boys. I see them all the way.
Yeah.
And they got the CD.
Yeah, my nail artist asked if I was excited about interviewing anybody, and I was like, well, I'm talking to MikeBone. She was like, oh my gosh, MikeBone, I remember when they were at the Old Paris Flea Market. You guys are just like legends.
Total
Oklahoma
legends. Yeah,
legends.
total legends.
Yeah. So, I'll change tone a little bit here. So, given your history of mental health struggles, what was it like participating in a show where, particularly the first season, was so centered around mental health?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The different thing about acting and recording, see, is
Not every actor was at the spot when it was being shot. So the only time we experienced those difficult scenes was when we had the screening parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we was not prepared for that trigger warning. And so I know with my past, I was like, it tugged me in a different way. I don't know about him, but like, dang.
It struck a nerve with Mike. So
Yeah, so I was,
But
but it was a lot of people in there crying, and I was like, dang, I didn't even know that's what they were doing. All I remember is somebody saying there was a scene where they had to film it 3 different ways, and they went with one way because it was a little bit easier to deal with versus another. And I think they were talking about the suicide scene, so I was like, oh, now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I think one reason we people embrace us so much from the show is we're the comic relief of that show. So.
Absolutely.
And the only characters that don't cuss on that show.
Yeah, you guys are just a delight. Anytime
Every
you
time.
show up in any
Yeah.
episode, it's so great.
Yeah.
So I have to ask this question because I think it might be relevant to us. So 808 drums, or 808 drum, I'm sorry. Where did you film that? Do you remember where you filmed that video?
In one of these parking garages.
Yeah, I thought it was our parking
think it
garage.
might be
I
the
think
one
it
we
is y'all's
park in.
parking
Yeah.
It
garage.
looks just like our
Yeah,
garage.
so we just picked a random parking garage, and we were like, let's.
I'm gonna put that song on every time I pull the parking garage.
Oh, it's
We were
nice.
like,
Every
let's
time.
just film ourselves getting pulled over, and and then basically a reenactment of what really happened.
Real life situation.
We got pulled over. The cop was like,
I was so unnerved that day. I forget what was happening. It might have been some personal issues.
he put a dent in the steering wheel.
I was gripping that steering wheel so hard,
and they were back there just laughing away.
we couldn't hear what they were saying, but you could hear them laughing, the cops. And I'm like praying, like, Lord, don't let me get no speeding ticket. I'm like, this
And then
month.
he comes up and goes, man, I saw y'all leave Walmart. I just wanted to get y'all autograph. I'm like, what the heck? He was
had
like,
a
I
piece
had
of
to show
paper.
my partner y'all's America's Got Talent thing.
They
Well,
were
that's what the
watching-
hell they was doing
they
back
were
there.
watching that. Oh, God.
That's crazy.
He had
That's
that
amazing.
piece of paper and a pen. I go, hold up, I got something better. And I was like, yeah, look, I got this. Pulled out the flyer, we signed it with a marker, official, and handed it to him. And
This I'm gonna do every
Made
time I
their
get pulled
day.
over now. I'm gonna pretend
Next
he's
time,
just
don't hit the
looking
lights,
for an
just honk the
autograph.
horn.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's evil.
Yeah, scare people. That's amazing.
So your newest album, Viin, came out in last year in 2024. So what can you tell us about how this shows kind of a different side of MikeBone?
it started as an anthem for justice on different indigenous issues with our missing and murdered people movement for police brutality. And then what else? The boarding school issue. We wrote a song for that. And then it just grew into something more. And 17 songs. I mean, we touch on a lot of topics. But it's just as powerful as all our other albums.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
We speak in parables, kind of like Jesus did. We tell stories, and there's a meaning. It's like the song "Pop Pop" that we rap on Res Dogs. A lot of people are feeding us criticism for pushing Glock use and talking about gun violence, and we're like,
It's
listen
talking
to
about
the lyrics.
shooting down negative energy.
We're talking
Yeah.
about busting down evil spirits and negative energy. It's like, listen to the lyrics, people.
Wow.
It's really amazing to me that you guys were able to fit just so many different topics, so many different emotions in 17 songs. Like it's 1 hour, but it just runs the gamut of all human emotions.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of experience. So.
It was really interesting you talking about all the very different indigenous issues that you brought up on the record. So you guys you're Pawnee.
Yes.
How was that growing up? Like, was that a big part of your lives growing up, or was that something you kind of came into later?
That's the thing. We grew up here in the city.
Yeah.
So a lot of other indigenous folks don't know that we weren't really raised around our traditions and culture,
Yeah.
you know, due to colonizers
Yeah.
and the systematic oppression.
Yeah.
But high school actually is what forced me to dive into my culture. Senior year, there was no talent show. So I wanted to go out with a bang. The only thing happening was Cultural Day, and they said in order for me to perform in that, I had to write a song that was ethnical and educational. So I got online, got in the books, started researching my history, and fell in love.
Wow.
And that's when you can kind of hear the transition of our music go from just straight Christian to native Christian, and it just grew from there. And
And then we got more open-minded once we started learning from the elders and going to ceremonies and just
powwows.
figuring it out.
Yeah,
Like,
just-
that's Creator gave us all different doorways through everyone else's religion. That was Creator's way of, saying, this is your doorway to me. And it wasn't just one way. And I feel like, a lot of Christian folk limit themselves when they put limit on God. So if God is omnipresent and goes by many names, God is omnipresent and goes by many names. It's not just one way. So in our beliefs, it don't matter how you worship your God, as long as you're worshiping is not a hateful way towards other people.
God is love. Try spreading some.
Right. So it's just all about loving on what is it? Respecting what Creator created.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a really
So
good
you guys
answer.
have a show coming up at the end of
Oh, it's
January,
very exciting.
right? Okay. Where are you guys going to be, and where can people get tickets?
We'll be at the Bowman Twin Event Center, January 25th. Doors open at 5, I think.
Okay.
Think.
The website, MikeBoneMedia.com, has all the details. Kids 12 and under get in free.
Oh,
Hey.
awesome.
So we'll be hitting the stage later on that night.
And we'll be getting in free.
Yeah.
You should.
Better. There's going to be JD, the Christian illusionist, performing.
Cool.
Who else? There's a couple other acts. I don't remember the names, but it's listed on the website and the social media. So you follow us, you find out.
And you said that was MikeBone Nation.
MikeBoneMedia.com.
MikeBoneMedia.com. And you can find all of their merch and tickets and all of the info about MikeBone that you could ever need. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much for coming into the
Such a
studio
pleasure.
today.
Yeah.
for
So
having
good to
us.
meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Much love, much love.
I'm really glad we got to set that interview up. Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of that just because we had them in the magazine like more than a decade ago.
Yes.
Like thanks to Ryan LaCroix. Who
Full
brought them
circle
to us.
moment.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It was one of my first fact-checking assignments.
Oh, that's fun.
Was talking to them, and I can't remember. I just talked to one of them. I think I talked to Lil Mike.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, you know what time it is. It's once again PodVent Time. This is where we go through the travelok.com event calendar, pick out a few of our favorite gems. Is there anyone who'd like to go first this week?
I'll go first.
All right.
Are y'all Broadway musical people? Do you like
Some
Broadway
of
musicals?
them.
Megan's like, no. What?
Select ones.
Okay. What'd you say, Carla?
Select ones. Like
Select
there,
ones.
yeah, there are
Okay.
some that I really like, and then some that I really hate.
Do you have a favorite that you really like?
Oh, this is so embarrassing, but I love the Phantom of the Opera.
Now, why is that not embarrassing at all?
It's just
lots of people worldwide. What about you?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I go through like phases of like I get really into it and then I
Yeah.
kind of like drift away and then it comes back. So
That's fair. Okay.
I'm in and out.
All right. Anybody have a favorite musical back there? No. No.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Well,
Good
of
answer.
course.
Okay,
Sing
good
it.
answer. Well, many people's favorite musical is Les Miserables. It's the first one I ever saw. It's not my favorite, but it's a favorite of mine. I still love it. You know the songs, I Dreamed a Dream, On My Own, Stars, just such great music. Well, Les Miserables is coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Center January 21st through January 26th. 2-hour, 50-minute show with intermission, so think about that as you think about buying tickets. This show, this is so cool, I wrote this down. This show has been seen worldwide by 130 million people.
Wow.
It's been performed in 53 countries, 438 cities, and in 22 languages. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I know.
That's lay impressive.
Right? Yeah. So Celebrity Attractions is bringing this show to Tulsa. This is actually the first musical like this, other than like my high school musical, right, that I ever saw. I saw it at the Civic Center. It was the last performance before they shut the Civic Center down to remodel it in 1998. So that was pretty cool. It was kind of my introduction to Broadway musicals. I really love the show. If you would like a sign language interpreted version of the show, I would recommend going to the 8 p.m. performance on Saturday, January 25th. That will be the one with the ASL interpreter. Tickets are $41 to $114, and you can visit celebrityattractions.com. There's a thing at the top of the page where you can select Tulsa as your city. There's a little pull down that's like select your city. Select Tulsa, and the tickets are right there, and you can find them. It's going to be a really good show. And Tulsa Performing Arts Center is a great venue.
And Russell Crowe won't be in it, so it'll
Russell
be even
Crowe-
better than the movie version.
Neither Russell Crowe nor Anne Hathaway will be anywhere near this performance, so you can just sit back and enjoy yourself. It's going to be fun.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Megan, what is your event for us?
Well, there is going to be a Bald Eagle Watch on January 25th at the Travertine Nature Center at the Chickasaw National Recreation Area in Sulphur. So if you don't want to listen to Broadway musicals, you can listen to the serenading sounds of eagles screeching from the trees.
Have you seen eagles there before?
I have not seen eagles there, but I am told that you have a good chance of seeing them, especially obviously in the winter because they're wintering here.
And there's no leaves. That's what they call it.
There's no leaves on the trees. And so, like, they're going to have a ranger come out and lead people. They're going to have a presentation, and then they will lead people around to the areas where they're most likely to see the eagles. So, I mean, I think they usually have we have pretty good success on the state park tours. So I think that, you've got a good shot at seeing an eagle on this one. And they want you to bring... Well, they advise that you might want to bring binoculars, a camera, a field guide, a coat for sure, and shoes, and and a sack lunch, because you will.
Well,
get
I'm
hungry.
always carrying that.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know. Maybe bring a salmon to lure the eagles. I'm sure you can get creative with it. But yeah, they're gonna walk around like Lake of the Arbuckles, because I guess that is a good place to watch eagles in the winter. So even if you don't go on this tour, you might go by Lake of the Arbuckle sometime and see if you can find an eagle.
I'm not sure if I've seen eagles in the wild. I can't remember if I've seen a bald eagle. I don't think I've seen a bald eagle in the wild.
Jesse and I saw a bald eagle over the winter break in
Whoa.
the backyard.
Really?
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Wow. That's
Now
awesome.
that
You
is
don't even have to go to an eagle
I
watch.
What's the date? I missed it.
Oh, it's January 25th.
Cool.
There you
So
go.
yeah, maybe that eagle was on its way down to Sulphur.
I bet so. Yes.
Cool.
Carly, what is your event this time?
My event is something that I actually really love, and I try to make it a point to go every year, but I miss it for some reason because there's always something else going on. But the OKC Spirit Fair. That's gonna
I
be-
went there last year.
Yes, you did. January 25th and 26th, and it's actually at the Reed Conference Center in Midwest City. It is $7 cash to get in, but it's $8 with a credit card. And you can't buy tickets online. You just buy them at the door when you show up. Kids 12 and under are free, so that's great. But there's going to be like so much stuff going on for 2 days. There's different kinds of readings, whether that's like tarot or energy, different spirit tools for sale, of course, lots and lots of crystals, incense and oil, pendulums, jewelry. You can get Reiki done. There's just all kinds of stuff. If you're into metaphysical anything, pretty much, they're going to have stuff for you. They're on Sunday at 3 p.m. there is going to be a sound bath, which I've always wanted to try.
I've always
So-
wanted.
What, define sound bath?
So it's just like basically they have these like special, usually bowls that they make noises from, and the different like hertz the different vibrations are supposed to like cleanse your different chakras or make you basically it just makes you feel good. It's relaxing and stuff. So
It just sounds cool.
That's cool.
I mean,
it does.
You bathe in the sounds.
Yeah. When you said different kinds of readings, my first thought was for filth. Which I would
Maybe.
honestly like if they had a booth set up and someone would read you for filth. Here's $20. Go for it.
My
Yeah.
friend went and got a psychic reading that turned out to be true. Well,
Really?
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day when we went to lunch. Remember we passed that psychic reading place, and I was like, I've never had that. I'd be curious to know what they would say.
Yeah.
I had for my birthday one year, I went to a place that was kind of like around the corner from my house. It was an absolutely terrible tarot reading. I think I am better at it myself now than that professional woman was. None of her predictions were correct. Everything was completely off. But maybe the people at the Spirit Fair will be a little bit better at their jobs.
I think so.
Did they have a website and phone number? Did you say?
Actually it's spiritfair.com. Super easy to remember. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find out, like, they have specific things scheduled, so if there's something that you're looking for, you can go to the website and you can find out exactly when you want to show up. But it's just fun to, browse. And see what's
Last year they
made
had 3D printed dragons.
Whoa.
Sweet.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah.
Forget all the stuff I said. Just go for the dragons.
Kirsten, what is your event this time?
Well, if you didn't know, the Beach Boys are going to be playing at the Windsor World Casino on the 24th at 8 p.m.
Wow.
Go see Beach Boys. And I don't know about you guys, I didn't realize, I knew the Beach Boys were iconic. I didn't realize that they had been, popular for over 50 years.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
She was born in 1998. It's
I
okay.
was.
Yeah.
I've always known them,
possibly,
though.
By some estimates, the greatest American band.
Yeah, it was listed as...
By some estimates, okay, I've got some weird looks here. By some people would say that. I'm not saying I would say it, but
I don't think there's a list of great albums of the 20th century that doesn't include Pet Sounds. Right? It's considered a masterpiece.
No, I wrote this down because I thought it was really cool. But they were considered one of America's icons. In 1988, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2001, they received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award for their impact on the musical world. So they're up there.
1988 would have made them one of
there.
the first groups inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Because didn't it open either that
I
year
think
or
so.
the year
Close to
not
that time.
sometime in the mid 80s? Yeah. So that's awesome. Wow, that's gonna be a good show.
And what's the casino again?
The Windstar World
Oh.
Casino. They can find tickets if you visit on windstar.com. And you can go through their tabs and find the tickets for the concert.
Yeah, and
That
you
place
should
is nice. We went there for the first time on New Year's Eve. Holy cow, that casino is nice.
I do think the Beach Boys are one of those bucket list bands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who knows how much longer they're going to be touring since they've been
And it even says that they're bringing back the classic sounds of summer. So if you're tired of cold weather, you might just go and it'll warm you up inside.
That's actually a great reason, I think.
It'll warm you up from the heart.
Yes.
That works.
good vibrations absolutely
Yeah.
does make me think of summer.
Yeah.
True. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, totally.
Well, my event has to do with time travel. And according to, I have to get the name right, this Dr. Emmett Brown, you need to go at a speed of precisely 88 miles per hour to go back to the future. So the people at the time travel half marathon, 10K and 5K in Oklahoma City, they're probably not going to hit speeds of 88 miles an hour. If they do, I'm sure they'll shatter all kinds of records. But to be fair, they also won't have any DeLoreans. I was a little surprised that there's half marathons at 10Ks and 5Ks in January. Because isn't that normally where you set your resolution and then you train for the half marathon? You know?
Well, but there are a lot of people that are they just run all the time. So.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you could set your resolution to go throughout the year, so then you hit your 1 year mark, and you're prepped and ready for it.
That's true.
You have an end
That
goal.
could be it. These are the people that started the year before and actually kept
Yeah.
going.
There you go.
The people who don't need to be motivated by the guilt of the holiday.
That's the thing that always messes me up about training for the marathon here, because it's at the end of April, right? And so typically you would start training the end of January, right? But then there's so many mornings. I'm like I'm gonna train. I'm gonna run the half marathon this year, and then I get up and I'm like, no, it's 20.
cold.
I'm not ready.
It's
Yeah.
a tough time to train.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oklahoma is harsh on the runner.
Yeah.
We have some very weathered runners for sure.
Yeah.
So this event starts at Wheeler Park. Has anyone been to Wheeler Park? Yeah, south of the river in Oklahoma City. And the track, they race along the river. Yes.
That's a nice run. That's a really, really nice run.
It is a nice run. Hopefully the wind is not too bad coming off that water.
We get random nice days in January.
We
so
do. You never
there's-
know what kind of day we're going to get in January. All racers receive a T-shirt, and then you get a really cool medal for finishing the race if you do end up doing that. Racing time starts at 9 a.m. Registration is $15 to $65. And you can call either 760-669-6471, or you can go to Facebook. Their Facebook page is facebook.com/bodiesraceco. So, facebook.com/bodiesraceco.
Why do races always have to start in the morning?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's the afternoon heat.
Yeah.
But not in January.
Yeah, no.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's because people probably haven't eaten a whole lot by then.
Maybe.
So it's hard
Yeah.
to run if you've got like a full stomach.
The memorial half here starts does it start at 6 or 7?
It's real early.
It
starts
is
at
dark.
It starts at
It's
like
dark
6,
when
yeah.
you get there. That's what I know. And like I will say, like having done that, I mean I haven't ever done the full and I never will, but having done the half, like there's a noticeable temperature change.
Yes.
Like halfway through it, you're shedding clothes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I was just thinking, since in the winter time, it makes some sense to like wait a little bit longer so
Yeah.
that it's warmer. But you know,
Truth.
I feel like people who are like really dedicated runners, a lot of times you'll see them running in the morning. So good on them.
Yeah.
We're going to see these dedicated runners in the morning, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for this week's show.
Let's go
our
running.
Star,
Let's go for a run.
Yeah, we're going to run right out of the studio.
It is 18 degrees outside.
Star of the show absolutely has to be Little Mike and Funny Bone. Thank
Totally.
you so much for coming on the
Oh
show.
my gosh, love that.
It was awesome. And that'll do it. This has been the show known from here to Wakita, home of my favorite, the Twister Movie Museum. As the Oklahoma Today podcast, head to oklahomatoday.com, pick up our latest issue on newsstands right now. Send your feedback to oktpod@travelok.com, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Great job.
Sweet. Sorry, I didn't know how to end it.
No, we had that. Yeah, you need that little block of silence there for a second. Yeah, that was perfect.